Well, I said a few videos ago that me and this car did not have years together. I then said we may not even have months together. That seems to be true. Here's one reason. I went and got a pizza last night. Oh, probably 42, 43 degrees. 16% climate settings. Use 2.5 kilowatt hours to drive there and back. Roughly, I'm guessing 2.5 miles there and back, maybe 3 miles. So I ordered a 2012 Chevy Volt. I hope you can hear me over the heater, but the day is going to come pretty quick where I'm going to miss this car. This 2015 Chevy Spark EV. I still really like this car. I really like it. I think it's great. Even in winter, if you have a second way to get around, like an ICE vehicle, still a great car. But when I bought it, I was wanting a Chevy Volt when I bought it. I just couldn't afford it. And the reason is because of the lack of range on this. And I knew in winter was going to be a problem, and I just thought, well, I'll just borrow my wife's ICE SUV, you know, sometimes. Which I could do, which I would do, rather than go back to a pure gas vehicle. But Carvana, they had a a Black Friday / Cyber Monday special going on, $1,000 off all vehicles. Plus, they were offering $1,800 and some odd dollars, I think it was, almost $1,900 extra for my trade for this car than what Kelly's Blue Book middle value said it should be worth on a trade-in. Now, if it wasn't for my brother, I'd be thinking that was just, you know, I don't trust dealers at all. And even though Carvana does not have dealers, it's still a dealership. So normally I'd be thinking that's some type of numbers game. They just want me to think they're giving me a lot for this car, more than it's worth. You know, because it's the area market value. They said because of the area I'm in, it's worth about $1,800, $1,900 more. But my brother, who lives in the St. Louis area, he did it, and they took money off of his car. They gave him a negative amount for the market he was in. So if it was some type of scam where they just threw a number up, then they would have done it for him too, and every customer in every area. So I don't know how they get that number, but I believe it's something at least legitimate in their mind, you know. But anyway, those three things happened. $1,000 off for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. The fact they're offering me more for this car than another dealer would if I just went up here like the Glen Sane and trade it. They wouldn't offer me near what Carvana's going to give me. Matter of fact, I should do that just as an experiment. But then I'd be wasting a dealer's time. But then again, dealers are unethical, sorry line scum. So it doesn't matter if I waste their time. Anyway, those two things, the fact that I got more for the trade-in than most dealers would have given me, and the $1,000 off. And third, they happen to have a Chevy Volt for a price I could actually afford, $11,800. Now, granted, it's 2012, but those when the older, cheaper Volts pop up on Carvana, man, they disappear quick. They disappear really quick. I had a tough choice between that and the 15. The 2012 is completely loaded. The 2015 was pretty much stripped. Miles within 10,000 of each other. But the 15 was only $2,000 more. For $2,000, you get 3-year more warranty on the battery, charging components, and all that. Plus, it'd be worth more down the road because it's a newer model. But I just couldn't see. I mean, I couldn't really afford that. So I just went with the 2012, no big deal. But this car, I'm purposely pushing back delivery for this Volt until Christmas, as close to Christmas as I can, which is about a month down the road. Because I'm not in that big of a hurry. Spartacus, this car here, will serve me just fine till then. So I'm gonna miss this car. This is a great car. Don't let the fact that I only kept it, it wind up being about 7 months, don't let that think. I don't want people to think I don't like it because I only kept it 7 months. It's just the range is so limited, and a Volt is so much more practical. A Volt is so much more practical if you can afford one, and if you don't mind putting gas in it and oil, and checking the oil and all that. much I'd rather it be a pure EV, you know, with, you know, a 250 mile range. But there's no way I can afford a pure EV with 200 plus miles of range. It just can't happen. So for me, in an area of the country, northeast Arkansas, that has no infrastructure whatsoever, pretty much, you know, I mean, very, very little infrastructure for electric cars, a Volt will serve me a lot better. A lot better. Plus, I hear they're a hell of a nice cars. I really think I'm going to like it quite a bit. Maybe 55. And I can't say for sure because I won't drive it that far in 40-degree weather with the heat off. But that's what my guessometer says when I get in the car, about 50 miles. Now, I'm guessing that with the heat on, comfortable, it'd probably seriously be about 40 miles instead of the usual 75. Almost half if you want to stay comfortable. I mean, look at this. I have not driven but probably 5 miles and 37 miles to go. 36 miles to go. I mean, most times I'm getting under 3 miles per kilowatt hour with the heat on. Man, the heat just burns so much energy. Plus the fact that batteries don't perform as well in the cold also. So those two together. But if you have a car, if you can afford something like the Chevy Volt with a B that has over 200 miles of range, even if you only get 100, even if I had, okay, if I had that, if I had it and it was paid for, which means I could afford it, then, even if I could only go 125, 130, 140 miles in the summer with the heat on, in the winter with the heat on, that's still plenty for me, and I'd still be perfectly happy. So buy the car with the most range you can afford to buy. Always get the most range you can possibly afford. This was the most range I could afford when I bought it, and this is the most range I can afford now. So with me, I have two choices. Go back to a gas vehicle, pure gas, which I certainly do not want to do because I think EVs are superior. Yes, superior to gas vehicles. My EV hating cousin, he thinks I'm a nut, but I do believe that. And so I'm going to sort of both, you know, runs on gas and electric, Chevy Volt, because I can afford that. So it's either a Chevy Volt, 40 miles electric, and then it burns gas, this, or a gas vehicle. And I'll be very happy with the Volt, I think. We'll see. I think I'll really like it. I really do. I really like this car. Sometimes, you know, have you ever gotten rid of a car that you really, really liked? I'm sure some people have. A single man with a sports car, he gets married and wants to have a couple of goofy, ignorant kids. So he's got to give him an SUV or something, get rid of a sports car. Until he hits his midlife crisis and he has to give him a convertible. You know, that's the rules. But anyway, yeah, I'm trading in a car that I really, really like. Just because it's just not practical enough. Not as practical as the Volt. But if it came down to this car or a gas car, I'd keep this and I'd just keep borrowing my wife's SUV. That's how much I like electric cars. See? I just got home and got 2 miles per kilowatt hour driving 4 miles, staying comfortable. On this on this charge, I've gotten 7% for driving and accessories, 23% for climate. And look how many miles I can drive after roughly about 8 miles, 42. But if I were actually driving down the highway, I'd be able to turn the heat down by now because, you know, the cabin is warm. You know, until the cabin warms up, you know, you use a lot more energy. Then once it warms up, you can turn the temperature down and, you know, get better miles per kilowatt hour. Now at 2 miles per kilowatt hour, my battery holds about 14 kilowatt hours. Most people report holding about 16 to 17, at least 15, but that'd be 28 miles. If your battery holds 14 kilowatt hours, 2 miles per kilowatt hour, 28 measly miles. But that's all the EV haters are going to focus on, the fact that I said 28 miles. I can get a lot more than that. It just, on this trip, I was running that heater pretty darn high. Pretty darn high. I think today, with the heat on a comfortable level, I probably would have got about 45 miles, which, yes, that's pretty bad. But still, if your commute is 10 or 15 miles each way, man, I still think this car could really get you to work and back really cheap, a really good vehicle for that, you know. and cheap, very cheap, about 1.2 cents a mile at Northeast Arkansas rates. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, and I'll make sure and talk about my new purchase when I get it, maybe even before I get it. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Remember, chicks dig cars and electric cars. See you later.